Hey there, and welcome to 3Spoonies. We're your hosts, Joe, Claire, and Karen. This is episode 19.5, where we're taking community questions about making plans for the year. Let's dive in.
The Activity Connector's mission is to inspire children, young people and adults alike to find the right activities for them through collaboration. We believe there's a sport or activity for everyone. We aim to bring organisations together to benefit children, young people and adults within the educational setting. If there is a particular need, we would love to talk to you and see if we can help you fill that need. We are currently working with organisations in domestic abuse, county lines and mental health, first aid training and sports coaching. Do you have a hobby that makes a massive impact to you? Or are you looking for that hobby? Why not drop us a message or take a listen to the power of a hobby? Always looking for more guests to come on and share what they love to do. Do you work for a charity and want to get more exposure about what you do? Or are you looking at sports events and need more support to set these up and run them? Why not drop us a message and we can chat and see what support we can offer you.
Hi, I'm Joe from Bright Cat Business Solutions.
I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
And I'm Claire from Sparkle's Gift Boutique.
And together we're 3Spoonies, navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. So yeah, we're back on our community questions this week on making plans for the year. And I hope you're all in a nice food coma after Christmas. Claire, do you have questions for us?
No, I have them.
Oh,
I was like, what?
yes, Claire, I want your questions.
No! Claire is in a food and drink coma. Leave her alone.
That seems fair and valid.
Sorry, I blame the food, mostly the cheese. Karen, sorry, do you have questions for us?
I do, handily. So I feel these questions, I have to say. So the first one is from Ash. Last year, I made a really detailed business plan and everything went wrong. Honestly, it put me off planning. How do I get back into it?
You don't have to do a detailed business plan. I have never done a business plan. I plan for what I want to do. I know where I want my business to kind of grow to. But I set my targets for what I want for the year and then I break it down by month. And and then I might bundle it into a couple of months at a time. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a full detailed business plan. Someone that all three of us met through networking, Kath Parrington, done a great little business book. And it doesn't have to be my master plan. And honestly, it was the first time I'd read about doing a kind of business plan without all the extra detail that was needed in it. And it's just, you can keep it simple.
Yeah, and do it in a format that's going to work for you, whether that's like a vision board of things you want to achieve, overall targets for the year, and then just focus on what's coming up now, because plan your whole year, like you said, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how you're going to feel. It also becomes guesswork, especially sort of later in the year. And it might be that you have a slightly rockier start to the year and you need to change your plan anyway. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't plan a whole solid year. It's a lot of work as well.
You could also say, decide on what milestones you'd like to hit, and don't be disheartened if you don't. Stick them on some post-it notes and decide which you're working on and work backwards, as Claire said. What do you need to do to get there? And if it goes wrong, readjust.
Yeah, you can always stretch out the end date of the goal. It doesn't have to be fitted within that year. It could take 18 months instead. It could take 2 years. It's just because it doesn't happen in a year doesn't mean it's a write-off.
And just because something's gone awry, that doesn't matter either. Life throws curveballs, as we all know. That's why we're here. So yeah, don't beat yourself up. Just adjust your plan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. It's always got to be something that you can edit and change, because we just don't know what's going to happen. At the moment, things can be quite volatile, and health isn't always linear. Sometimes it's a bit up and down, things like that. But yeah, it's do something that's going to work for you. If that can be as simple as you like. Don't feel everything has to be in perfect full sentences and pages of it, because at the end of the day, it's for you. So do it in whatever format is going to be good for you. Okay, the next question is for Jack. I work on financial rather than calendar years. Can I just move the start month back a few months?
Yes, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
It's your
Mm. Yeah, it could also be like maybe your business started in July and that's how you count your years. It doesn't matter where you're starting. Like some people, the start of a new year, there can be sort of that motivation, a new start and there's hope and let's get going. But if you're saying accountant, January doesn't feel like a new year. It feels like very much the end of the last year. So yeah, if that's your mindset, if that's what you're used to, absolutely move the start of your year to wherever you want to.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because obviously most people take a break, and so there's a lull. So that's a great time for planning, unless you're an accountant, obviously, because that's
Yeah.
the worst time.
Yeah, it's got to work for you. There aren't fixed rules. And do you know what? If you've got a planner with fixed dates, you can always cross them out, make it something else, make it work for you. It's not the law. So the last one is from Seth. Every year I buy a hardback planner that I never use. I've got one ordered this time. I know I'd find it useful, but I just can't get started. Should I start earlier this year or just admit it's not going to happen?
Maybe change what you use as a planner. Like we discussed in the last one, I have a wall chart planner because I've tried the book one and it doesn't work. But seeing it all out on one big sheet actually helps me a bit more. So it could just be that you need to see it in a different way to plan it. Because I use that and then I have lots of notebooks and I have a wall of post-it notes behind my laptop here that has all other little things on it and they're just rearranged as to how and when I need them.
Yeah, it's also worth looking at why the planner you've got doesn't work. I mean, is it just overwhelming? Like sometimes planners, I think because there's a minimum number of pages they need, and sometimes they do just fill it up with stuff to have a decent size book. It's like I had one and it's like, oh, track your finances in the back of this social media planner. And it's like, I don't want to track my finances on a piece of paper when I have apps and stuff. That's not going to work for me. So maybe it's just like it's too much, but there might be bits of it that work. And often the planners often have PDF as well. So it might be going through, finding the PDF that you actually want and print it out or put it on a tablet or fill the information in. That might help more than a big chunky book, which can feel like a heck of a lot.
Yeah, there's also the option of doing it all digitally as well, depending on because I don't write things down because it hurts, and therefore I've got to the point where I don't like writing things down, so it wouldn't work for me. Keeping everything online on my computers though, so it really does depend on what works for you. Like you've got a remarkable, which you like write notes in. I don't. I write nothing down. I make notes in a Word document if I'm online, and I note down so much.
Yeah, and it also, sorry, go ahead,
No,
Claire.
I have a mix of both. Like I do have a Word document that I'll make notes in for certain things, but I find I tend to work better off a list. I think, especially if I'm planning things or if like I'm planning my week and things I'm making or things I need to do for the website and other bits, even just ordering certain bits of like stock and packaging stuff, just knowing I can cross it off. I don't know, I like that. And that's why I do plan some of it on paper and some of it in a document. There's just something really nice about crossing it off and being like, I'm done.
I like clicking done on my to-do list.
It also might be looking for a different planner. Like if you do like to write things, there are lots out there. Some are far less overwhelming. Like I got a really good one from Keyformatic, and that sort of spread out the year and advised of things you could do in certain months and things like that. But it encouraged you to start partway through the planner if you needed to. because it maybe you don't get to planning until March or June, or you didn't start your business until then. So it's like, right, start it partway through, go to the end. And it wasn't huge and overwhelming. There weren't 70 million charts and things to track. I found that really doable. So have a look and see what's out there. There's inexpensive things. Sometimes the really expensive ones as well, they justify the value by putting a shed load in. And sometimes you don't want a shed load of stuff, you just want the basics.
But in summary, whatever works for you. All right, thank you, Karen. And thanks for joining us, 3Spoonies, for episode 19.5 on making plans for the year, community questions. We would love to know your thoughts in the comments and any questions you have. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe for our weekly podcast and leave us a review. You can also find us on all the social medias, and we'd love it if you join us in the Business Success Network for Disabled Entrepreneurs Facebook group. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. All our links are in the show notes, and we'll see you next week for our next topic on awards. Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.